In this video, I'm going to talk about 5 cheap things I would buy as a beginner guitar player. If I could go back in time to when I was a beginner, I would try to get these things to make my guitar playing journey easier and less frustrating and protect some investments. An important caveat to this video is I'm going to be excluding any of the big ticket purchases like guitars or amplifiers. I'm assuming that if you're clicking on this video, you've probably already got those, and even if you haven't, there's plenty of videos on those subjects. I think there's not as many videos focusing on the subject of accessories that can make your guitar playing experience better. So the first thing I think you want to get as a beginner guitar player that's really cheap are white guitar picks. Now there's a lot of debate out there about what kind of guitar pick is best. Should you get thick or thin? What material should be made out of? The one thing I would recommend to everybody is getting a white guitar pick. The reason for this is they're harder to lose. So a lot of guitar amplifiers are black, a lot of furniture is darker colored, and you don't lose white guitar picks as often. They're easier to see. I can't tell you how many times I've lost a guitar pick just because it's black and I just set it down on a black amplifier. It took me a while to get the white guitar pick trick figured out, but I would definitely get those. They're also good for writing on, and I like to put the date of when I stopped using a guitar pick on the pick. It kind of makes it more of a a little way to remember my time with that pick. Maybe I used it on a cool gig, maybe I just practiced with it for a while. But either way, number 1 is white guitar picks. Number 2 are hearing protection. I like erasers, but there's plenty of things you can get. There's plenty of cheap foam earplugs. There's some $10 little sets from Fender. I think erasers are about 40 bucks. You can get them at Guitar Center, and I think it's well worth it. Whatever you do, protecting your hearing is super important. If you're a guitar player, it's more than likely that at some point you're going to start playing with a band, or at the very least going to concerts or other local gigs. And if you don't protect your hearing, you could damage it or possibly get a condition like tinnitus or tinnitus. Some people say it differently. Either way, you definitely want to protect your hearing, and I think this is well worth the investment, especially considering how cheap it is to do. Number 3 is a wall hook or a guitar stand. This is important because you want your guitar to be out of its case and ready to play at all times. Now obviously, if you live in a climate that has really extreme winters or summers and being out of the case could damage your guitar, then you want to protect your instrument. But besides that, having to get your guitar out of the case to play it is a point of friction that's more than likely going to stop you from playing. And the whole point of playing guitar is to play guitar and to do it more often. So I think that you should get some way, whether it's a guitar hook or a guitar stand, to get your guitar out of its case and ready to play. Number 4 are strap locks. I didn't have strap locks at the beginning, and my guitar fell off the strap and it broke. It was a total nightmare, and I don't want anybody else to experience it. You should get strap locks immediately. It doesn't matter how expensive or inexpensive your guitar is. Protect your guitar by getting strap locks. They connect to your strap and then they connect to the guitar, and once you put them on, they're not coming off. I like these kind by Fender. They're in the style of another company called Schaller. Either way, I think the Fenders are a little cheaper, but either way, you definitely want to get strap locks. Number 5 is a ClipOn tuner. I think most beginners skip this and they either try to tune via a phone app or maybe they try to tune by ear. I think that's really difficult. A lot of times those apps are hard to use and they don't work that well, and tuning by ear can be really challenging as a beginner. A clip-on tuner is good because it allows you to just tune your guitar really easily. A lot of people never even take it off, and I think as a beginner that's probably the way to go. If you're first starting out playing guitar and you kind of acclimate your ear to an out-of-tune guitar, then I think you could be kind of damaging your ability to hear an in-tune guitar as time goes on. You just get used to the way it sounds, and if you get used to something that's incorrect, it's not an irreversible mistake, but it'll just make it more difficult for you in the future. I like the Polytune kind just because they're metal and a little bit more durable. And that's it. Those are the 5 things I would get for not very much money if I was a beginner guitar player.